Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer of thegaminggang.com, and today I am going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things starter set from Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, and Netflix. Normally, I would do the unboxing on my Monday through Friday show, The Daily Dope, but it doesn't look like there's tons in this box. And I usually enjoy devoting about a half hour on each episode of the Daily Dope to whatever game we're taking a look at or I'm doing a review of. So I thought, just as a separate video, I would do the unboxing and the first look. And then, of course, in about a week or so, I will have my review of the Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things starter set on the Daily Dope. So, I know folks are tuning in because I want to see what exactly is in the box for the Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things starter set. And as I mentioned, it's from Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast in conjunction with Netflix. It's written by Jeremy Crawford and Ben Petrosor, I believe is the pronunciation, with artwork provided by Stan! I have no idea what that means, who that is. It's Stan! The Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things starter set is out now. It does carry an MSRP of $24.99. Let's pop on over to the other camera here. Because I've got this here, I'm going to pop on the old reading specs. And I am going to get the old hobby knife so we can take care of the shrink wrap. Now, the Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things starter set is for 3 or more players, ages 12 and up, I do believe. Let's double check that on the front. Ages 14 and up. I'm a little surprised by that. So, on the back it says, embark on a Dungeons & Dragons adventure created by Mike. Mike Wheeler from Hawkins, Indiana has created an awesome Dungeons & Dragons adventure, and now you get to play it. Pick your character. Will you be Will the Wise or Dustin the Dwarf? And get your fireballs ready as you investigate the mysterious castle and battle the ferocious Demogorgon. Will you make it out alive? Will you encounter a beast with 7 heads? Did you pack your wrist rocket? Prepare yourself for anything because the game just got stranger. It says great for new Dungeons & Dragons players. So I understand we've got a couple of Demogorgon figures here. We've got one that's painted and one that is unpainted. We'll take a closer look at those in just a second. We do have a set of Polyhedral Dice. It actually has, I'll open this up, actually has a little bit of a finish to them too. So let's take a quick peek. Yep, they're not just a solid color. Let's zoom in real quick. Not just your standard solid blue. It's got a little bit of a kind of design to it. So that's kind of cool. Although I do notice, what was it, the 10 I just saw? Yeah, a little paint kind of rubbed off there already on this. So we got our 20-sider. We got our 10-sider. We've got 6-sider, 12-sider, 4-sider, and 8-sider. So we do not have a percentile dice, or die, I guess I would say, or a different colored 10-sider. So I guess at no point in time in this adventure, or in these rules, will we need to roll a D100. So there you go. So we've got the dice there. Might as well pull this out. This has kind of an oddball insert to it. Let's take a look at the minis here. So we've got the painted Demogorgon. Real soft plastic here. Real soft. Almost rubber plastic. So, and then the other one is the same, just unpainted. So of course, if you were going to look to paint this, you would certainly have to treat this first, because otherwise, if you just prime this and paint this, your paint is going to flake off. This plastic is way too soft. And it's really soft. I mean, I can just bend that right down. So we've got those. So I know a lot of people are probably wondering, is this just a big money grab by Hasbro? I don't know. That's why we're taking a look at this. Gotta be honest, I was not expecting to get a review copy of the Stranger Things starter set, because as we zoom back out, because we're going to look at the starter rulebook and the adventure and see what else we've got in here. I was going to say, I wasn't expecting to receive a review copy of this, because this is actually a Hasbro release. It's not considered a Wizards of the Coast release. Because as far as Wizards of the Coast, I always receive all the new D&D stuff. All that stuff that's coming out, I always get a copy of for review. But I was told that they weren't sending this out to the standard Wizards of the Coast reviewers. So I was surprised when this showed up in my mail just the other day, a couple of days ago. So we can see that there's like a saddle stitch, because I see the string here, almost like a saddle stitch on these rule books. Well, rule book and adventure book. So we've got some pre-gen characters here. So we've got a bard, a cleric, a paladin, a ranger, and a wizard. It looks like they're all level 3. I believe that's indicating, yeah, that these are 3rd level characters. That's interesting. So we've got, it even says Dungeons and Dragons Stranger Things on the character sheet. Dual-sided. Yeah, they are. Sure enough, they are level 3, because here we got a section saying gaining levels, and then it shows at level 4 and level 5. So that's kind of interesting, that the adventure is going to start the players out at level 3. So I wonder how the rule book is going to address that. If I remember correctly, in the Dungeons and Dragons starter set, which actually is really good. The adventure itself too is really well done. In fact, it's got a bit of an old school Renaissance vibe to it. But I think that took you up to level 3. If I remember right, I think you could go up to level 3 in the starter. I'll worry about putting this back together in just a bit, because it looks like every time I put something back in the box, I have to pull that insert out. So we got the adventure book here. We'll take a look at a second. Hunt for the Thesla Hydra, a D&D campaign by Mike Wheeler. But if you notice, the box cover shows Wizards of the Coast, but the game books themselves show Hasbro Gaming. So a little bit different. So let's take a look at the Starter Set Rulebook. So we're going to get how to play, getting started. Let's zoom out a little bit more here, so my noggin's not cutting off a bunch of the page here. Talking about getting started, talking about the game dice. Like I said, I'm really surprised there's no percentile die there. Structure of play. Because, okay, so this is what throws me off a little bit, which I think is a little strange with the dice that you got in the set. Is it's almost like, well, we're going to give you the dice that you need just for this game book and this adventure. So in the future, when you need a D100, well, you're out of luck. I think that's just odd. Because, I mean, I almost never see a set of dice these days without another second 10-sided die. Either of another color or just with the 10s, right? So, for the percentiles. Talking about the 6 abilities. Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Yes, it's the old favorites there. Talking about the core rule. It says, the core rule, does an adventurer's sword swing, hurt a dragon, or bounce off its iron hard scales? Does the ogre believe in outrageous bluff? Can a character swim across a raging river? Does a character avoid the main blast of a fireball or take full damage from the blaze? Basically, it's talking about you need to roll a d20. That is the golden rule, the core rule. Roll the die. Uh-oh. A 1. Critical failure. Talking about advantage and disadvantage. So that's kind of strange. There's only the 120-sided die, right? Okay. Ability checks, proficiency bonuses, strength checks, dexterity checks, constitution checks, intelligence and wisdom checks, as well as charisma checks, saving throws. Talking about combat. Actions in combat. Damage and healing. Dropping to 0 hit points. Instant death. Massive damage can kill you instantly. Adventuring. Kind of interesting. They've got photography from Stranger Things in this. So I know some folks out there were thinking, oh, so is this a Dungeons and Dragons core rules for a Stranger Things based role-playing game? And the answer to that is no. I just find it kind of odd. It's just like, Stranger Things photography in that. So as far as the starter book here, pretty similar to what I recall from the Dungeons and Dragons starter box. Although I believe, if memory serves me correctly, there were more pages to that starter. So we've got Appendix A, magic items, monsters, monster stat blocks. So it's showing us just the monsters that are going to be included in the adventure. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. There's the Hydra. No images, no pictures. Hopefully there are some pictures in the adventure book, because as a starter product, you would hope that the players would be able to visualize what exactly it is that they're fighting. And then we've got the Appendix C with the condition. So altogether, 43 pages in the Starter Set Rulebook. And like I said, I could have swore, now I might be wrong, because I do not have the D&D Starter Set box anymore. It's actually over at my nephew Cameron's. I gave that to him years ago when it first came out. So that is the starter set. Let's see what we got with this adventure then. Adventure book, Hunt for the Hydra. Oh, okay. So this is actually going to be like drawn by Will, written by Will. Okay, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of this so far. So it looks like it's just basically going to be encounters. So we got the whole story. Okay, so then we get a little bit of a map here. Troglodyte Caverns. The Cursed Labyrinth. The Lost Knights. I don't know. This I got to be honest. I can tell you right now, I don't think much of this presentation here. Oh, there we go. There's the Demogorgon. The leader of the Hydra. Well, at least we had a picture of it. Right. A picture of the Lizard Man. Come on. I mean, really, they're indicating that this is for ages 14 and up. Come on, seriously? I don't see that. It's only 14 and up, so the kids don't swallow the dice. That's about it. This looks like this is easily for ages like 10 and up. So that is the adventure book. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to sit down and read through this. But so far, I got to be honest, this does look like this is just a money grab. It really does. I'm not reviewing it based on just taking this stuff out of the box, but I don't know. I can tell you what, that the actual D&D starter set box is much more impressive than what's included in this, even without the really soft plastic miniatures. So we get the adventure book, we get the 43-page starter rulebook, we get the dice, and that is what we find when we take everything from the Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things starter set outside the box. So as I mentioned before, this is available right now. It does carry an MSRP of $24.99. Guarantee online, you can probably find it for less than the MSRP. So I will have a review of the Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things starter set next Thursday. So all I really got to do is read the books, right? So anyway, so tune in to the Daily Dope for my review. And of course, if you don't follow the Gaming Gang on Twitter to find out what's on upcoming shows and you know, things like that, by all means, please follow me on Twitter at the Gaming Gang. So, as I like to point out, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you check out some of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel and you like those, please subscribe. Not only do that, but also ring that little bell, because it will not only notify you when there's a new video, it will also notify you when the live show starts to stream within about 5 minutes or so. All right, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Stay tuned, as I will have a review in the very near future. And of course, thanks for watching. Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.